Canned tuna is a kitchen staple, affordable, convenient, and packed with protein. For many families, it's a go-to ingredient for quick lunches, salads, and even hearty dinners. Its long shelf life and versatility make it a favorite in homes around the world, and it's often recommended as a healthy source of lean protein and omega-3 fatty acids. But inside some cans lurks a hidden danger: mercury, a toxic heavy metal that can't be seen, smelled, or tasted. Most people don't realize that this invisible threat could be sitting right on their pantry shelf, waiting to be served at the next meal. Mercury pollution from industry ends up in our oceans, where it accumulates in fish. Factories, power plants, and mining operations release mercury into the air, which eventually settles into rivers and seas. Over time, this pollution builds up in the marine food chain, affecting countless species. Tuna, as a large predator, absorbs more mercury than smaller fish. Because they live longer and eat other contaminated fish, mercury levels in tuna can become dangerously high compared to other seafood. This process, called bioaccumulation, means the tuna we eat can be highly contaminated. Scientists regularly test tuna samples and often find mercury levels that exceed recommended safety limits, especially in larger species like albacore and bluefin. While tuna is praised for its health benefits, the risk of mercury exposure is real and growing. Eating too much can lead to mercury building up in your body over time, which can have serious health consequences. Recent findings have raised public health concerns, especially for vulnerable groups. Pregnant women, young children, and the elderly are particularly at risk, as mercury can harm developing brains and nervous systems. The amount of mercury can vary wildly from can to can, making it hard to know what's safe. Even cans from the same brand or batch can have different levels, leaving consumers in the dark about their true exposure. This video will break down what you need to know about mercury in canned tuna. We'll explore the science behind mercury contamination, how it gets into your food, and what you can do to protect yourself and your family. We'll cover why it's a health risk, who's most at risk, and what's happening in Europe right now. You'll also learn about the latest regulations, labeling practices, and how different countries are responding to this growing concern. Plus, you'll get clear advice on choosing safer options and how much tuna is actually okay to eat. We'll share tips on reading labels, selecting lower mercury varieties, and balancing tuna with other healthy foods. Protecting your health starts with being informed. By understanding the risks and making smart choices, you can still enjoy tuna as part of a balanced diet, without putting yourself or your loved ones in harm's way. Let's uncover the truth about what's really in that can of tuna, and empower you to make safer, healthier decisions every time you shop or prepare a meal. Mercury in tuna takes the form of methylmercury, a potent neurotoxin. It's easily absorbed by our bodies and can cross into the brain, targeting the nervous system. Pregnant women, nursing mothers, and young children are especially vulnerable. Even small, regular doses can cause developmental delays, lower IQ, and learning problems in children. For adults, chronic exposure can lead to mercury poisoning, causing numbness, weakness, and even permanent neurological damage. The danger is real and well documented. Health organizations worldwide have set strict guidelines for mercury intake. But tuna, as a top predator, can exceed these safe limits. This isn't about fear, it's about making informed choices to protect your family. Understanding the risk is the first step to staying safe. In September 2025, 8 major French cities, including Paris, banned canned tuna from school cafeterias. This drastic move followed investigations revealing dangerously high mercury levels in some tuna products. The ban aims to protect children, who are most at risk from mercury's effects. Tests found some cans with mercury levels far above legal limits. One brand had 13 times the allowed amount. Critics say current regulations favor the tuna industry over consumer safety. The French ban is a wake-up call. Mercury in tuna is a real, urgent problem. When schools remove a food from their menus, it's time for everyone to pay attention. Is the tuna in your pantry safe? Not all canned tuna is created equal. Species matters most. Canned light tuna, usually made from skipjack, has much lower mercury than white, albacore tuna. Albacore and larger species like yellowfin accumulate more mercury and should be limited, especially for kids and pregnant women. Brand matters too. Studies show mercury levels can vary widely, even within the same brand. Price and popularity don't guarantee safety. Tuna are caught in different oceans, and cans may contain fish of different ages and sizes. Without better labeling, shoppers are left guessing about what's really in the can. Knowing the species and being cautious with brands is your best defense. So, how much tuna is safe to eat? It's a question many people ask, especially if you love the convenience and taste of canned tuna. Tuna is a great source of protein and omega-3s, but it can also contain mercury, a heavy metal that can be harmful in large amounts. The answer depends on the type of tuna, your age, and your health status. For albacore, also known as white tuna, the guidelines are strictest. Pregnant women and young children should have no more than one small serving per week. This is because albacore tends to have higher mercury levels than other types of tuna. Mercury can affect the developing brain and nervous system, so it's especially important for expectant mothers and kids to be cautious. For canned light tuna, which is usually made from skipjack, the mercury content is lower. That means 2 to 3 servings per week are generally considered safe, even for pregnant women. Still, it's a good idea to keep track of how much you're eating and to vary your protein sources when possible. But even light tuna isn't mercury-free. Portion size matters. A serving is about the size of a deck of cards, or roughly 2 to 3 ounces. Eating more than the recommended amount can add up over time, so measuring your portions is a smart move. For young children, the safe weekly limit is even lower. Just a couple of tablespoons per week is enough for little ones. Their smaller bodies are more sensitive to mercury, so it's best to err on the side of caution and serve only tiny portions. Mercury levels can vary dramatically from can to can, even within the same brand. That's why it's smart to be conservative with your choices. Always read labels, and if you're unsure, choose brands that test for mercury or offer lower mercury options. Stick to light or skipjack tuna, limit your intake, and be extra careful with kids and pregnant women. If you're shopping for your family, make it a habit to check which type of tuna you're buying. If you eat tuna regularly, moderation is key. Try to balance your diet with other sources of protein like beans, eggs, or chicken. This way, you can still enjoy tuna's flavor and nutrition without worrying about mercury buildup. Until better labeling exists, it's wise to err on the side of caution. If you're ever unsure, choose the smaller serving or skip tuna that week. Following these guidelines helps you enjoy tuna's convenience and health benefits without the hidden risk. Tuna can be part of a healthy diet, as long as you pay attention to how much and what kind you eat. Make informed, moderate choices for your family's health, and you can keep tuna on the menu with confidence. Worried about mercury? There are plenty of safer, nutritious alternatives to tuna. Small fish like sardines, anchovies, and herring are low in mercury and high in healthy omega-3s. Salmon, both wild and farmed, is another excellent low-mercury choice. Atlantic mackerel is safe, but avoid king mackerel, which is high in mercury. These fish are easy to find, affordable, and often come canned just like tuna. Plant-based tuna alternatives are now widely available and completely mercury-free. Try a tuna salad with canned salmon or mashed chickpeas for a healthy swap. Diversifying your protein sources reduces risk and adds variety to your diet. You don't have to give up tuna forever, but exploring other options is smart. Safer seafood and plant-based choices make healthy eating easier. Tuna is popular for its lean protein and affordability. It's a good source of vitamins and minerals, but not the best for omega-3s, especially canned light tuna. Fattier fish like salmon and sardines offer more healthy fats and less mercury. The real dilemma: balancing tuna's benefits with its mercury risk. For healthy adults, occasional tuna is low risk. For pregnant women and young children, the risk may outweigh the benefits, especially with safer alternatives available. Overfishing is another concern. Many tuna species are threatened. Look for sustainably caught tuna, but remember, nutrition, safety, and environmental impact all matter. Make your tuna choices with the full picture in mind. One big problem: tuna labels rarely tell you what you need to know. Light tuna might mean skipjack, yellowfin, or a mix, each with different mercury levels. Labels almost never list where the fish was caught, and mercury content is never disclosed. This lack of transparency leaves consumers guessing and makes safe choices difficult. Health advocates are pushing for better labeling, but for now, you have to do your own research. Until things change, knowing the basics about species and risk is your best tool. Protecting your health from mercury in tuna is simple if you follow a few easy rules. Tuna is a convenient and nutritious food, but it's important to be mindful of how much and what type you eat. Mercury, a heavy metal found in some fish, can build up in your body over time and may pose health risks, especially for young children and pregnant women. But with a little knowledge, you can keep your meals both safe and delicious. When shopping, choose canned light or skipjack tuna over albacore or white tuna. These varieties generally have much lower mercury levels, making them a safer choice for everyone, especially for kids, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, and anyone who eats tuna regularly. Pay attention to portion sizes. Limit yourself to 2 or 3 servings of tuna per week, and for children, keep portions even smaller. A serving is about the size of a deck of cards. This helps reduce the risk of mercury building up in your system. Don't eat tuna every day. Moderation is key. Spacing out your tuna meals gives your body time to process any mercury you might ingest, and helps keep your overall exposure low. Try to include a variety of proteins in your diet throughout the week. Add safer fish like salmon, sardines, and anchovies to your meals, or try plant-based seafood alternatives. These options are not only lower in mercury, but also provide healthy fats and important nutrients. Rotating your seafood choices keeps your meals interesting and nutritious. Stay informed by reading labels and keeping up with the latest seafood safety guidelines. Support calls for clearer labeling and stricter safety standards, so everyone can make informed choices about what they eat. Choose brands that are transparent about their sourcing and fishing methods. Responsible companies often provide information about how their tuna is caught and tested for safety, helping you make better decisions for your health and the environment. Remember, your choices send a message to the industry. By supporting safer, more sustainable brands, you encourage better practices across the board. By following these simple steps, you can enjoy the convenience and taste of tuna without the hidden danger. Making small changes in your shopping and eating habits can have a big impact on your family's health. Make every can a safe choice for you and your family, and enjoy tuna with confidence and peace of mind.